Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio, here in the Bible Bistro, where the last 3 weeks, now 4 weeks, we've had a panorama of the history of God's working amongst His people. Psalm 105 was about His wondrous works and all that He did. Psalm 106, it's about their sinning against Him, not believing His word, and, of course, not remembering all that He had done for them. And so Psalm 106 takes up the sin and result cycle, and we've seen that over and over again. Yesterday, we had a unique one with Moses. The people sinned, and instead of there being a result in their failing in their life, it was a failing in Moses' life. There was a result in Moses' life because he didn't do what the Lord said to do. The Lord places a higher standard, on His ministers than He does anyone else. And so Moses, he falls away, and the result of his sin is he's not going to enter the land. Now today we come to verses 34 through 38, and we're going to look at the sins of the people that ended their occupation of the land and sent them into captivity again. We began with them, going into Egypt. That was over in Psalm 105. They came out of Egypt. The Lord did all that wonderful thing for them, delivered them in the wilderness. They began sinning. We have this sin result cycle. Now in 34 we come to, actually, as I said at the beginning, this is a panorama this week and for the last 4 weeks, because we've been talking about beginning in Exodus, then in Numbers. Now we go to the book of Judges. 34, 35, and 36 all point to the book of Judges in a very brief way and tell us about what happened there. So let me read those for you. They did not destroy the nations, concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen, and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare to them. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. Verse 39 continues this cycle. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a-whoring with their own inventions. We'll pick up 39 again tomorrow, but I just wanted to read that because that's the conclusion of this section. And you'll notice, beginning there in 34, they didn't destroy the nations. Now, that's recorded for us in Joshua and Judges. They went in, but they did not completely destroy all the nations that were in the land of Canaan. That became a snare to them. They were mingled among the heathen. That is, this was their land now, but there were still heathen living there. The Canaanites were still there in some places, and so the people were mingled among them, and so they learned what they did. They learned their worship practices, they learned the gods, they learned all that stuff, and as I said, it became a snare. They served these idols, and we see that in the book of Judges. Over and over again, the people sin. The Lord reveals judgment. The judgment comes with promise of redemption. The Redeemer comes in, who is the judge. The people are delivered, and then there's peace because the people return to the Lord. So they have this wheel and woe cycle in Judges. But there's one sin that sort of caps off all the rest, and that is found in 37:38. They sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils, shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. So here we have them sacrificing to these idols, and of course we know about Moloch. If you're interested in that, I preached a sermon some time back called The Altar of Moloch Rebuilt in Our Day, because the sin of abortion in America is so great, and our land too is polluted with blood because we have sacrificed our sons and our daughters to the idol on the altar of convenience. Well, I hope you'll join me tomorrow, and we'll pick up right there in verse 39 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.